What's going on, guys? It's your boy MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to be talking about the buffed, the new and improved Crypt King Graal. Really good change to this guy, so let's get right into it and why he is the Spider King. Alright guys, so here we have Mr. Crypt King Graal here with his Death Fire's 100% chance to HP burn when you do fully book him on a 3-turn cooldown. Paired with awesome synergy here, 4-turn cooldown, 100% freeze, and extends the duration of the HP burn. This effect cannot be resisted. Really cool there. On top of all of that, he's a really nice attack down on the A1, giving him a 100% chance of this applying if there's an HP burn, which there will be because he has an AoE right here, and finally an awesome aura to top things off. So let's go over the gear I used, and I ended up pairing him with another champion to make this run as smooth as possible and as quickly as possible, and I figured what better champion than Sigmund the Highshield. Very tanky champion, incredible survivability that he offers for himself and for anyone else he's paired with. So this is going to be 100% win rate, really easy, full auto stage 25 spider team. Firstly, we have Crypt King Graal here. You don't need regen gear. I was trying to do something else with him. I just left this gear on. These stats don't even matter too much. I would say stick with 244 speed, stick with over 70,000 health. Outside of that, resistance helps, accuracy of course is what you need, but as far as consistency goes, I would say accuracy, resistance, speed, and health are the only 4 stats you really have to look at here. The gear set does not matter at all. In fact, regeneration set really doesn't do much for this guy. Like I said, this is just a byproduct of what I was testing before, so you can use any gear set you want. Moving on to the masteries for this guy, I literally gave him the most ridiculous masteries. Elixir of Life for increased health. You don't need that by any means. If you want to give him Eagle Eye because you're struggling with accuracy, go right ahead. And if your gear is good enough, this is the best part, you can use 0 masteries at all. Yes, that's correct. You can actually run this without a single mastery here. He's going to do just fine because of him and his pair of Sigmund, who's a very tanky champion that offers incredible survivability. But if you did want to use him, you can run these masteries, or you can go the offense tree for a little bit more damage, giving War Master. Not too much damage because you don't want to kill the spiderlings, of course. Next, in case you're wondering about how I geared Sigmund, pretty straightforward build here. Health, defense, a little bit of speed, resistance. I'm not sure if you really need resistance. It does make it safe. I'm not sure if it's 100% win rate if you don't build him with resistance or do. I never tested that. However, if you know his kit, he is provoking, so he's going to be taking most of the spiderling damage, aside from a few things I did here, but we're going to get into that right now when we take this for a spin in stage 25. Alright, so before we go over this, a few important things to know. For some reason, if you don't preset this guy's AI, he's not going to use Elemental Unity on cooldown. Why is this the case? I'm really not sure. I already reported it as a bug on the test server. We will see if it sticks through to live, so if it does apply to the live servers, don't let this catch you off guard. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to show you what I did to the custom AI setup here. As we can see here, I prioritize Death Fires as 1 and Elemental Unity as 2. So if you do see some type of bug where he's not using this freeze effect, just set it as the second priority here. As far as Sigmund goes, Shield of the Realm, I prioritize this as his first skill. It doesn't really matter if it's first or second, I just preferred this one to make Crypt King as tanky as possible, even though it's not really needed, as you will see. If you want to add food to this run, it does even better because the spiderlings target the food and not your main sources of damage here. But with all that being said, let's head straight into the fight and watch this magnificent duo go at it here. So we're going to start with the HP burn. This first wave doesn't really matter here. The spider is going to consume everyone and heal back all of the damage we do see going out now. There's the freeze, there's the taunt, the heal. Okay, there's the heal right there. As we can see, strength and huge. The shield Sigmund's providing is also huge as well. They're taking pretty much no damage at all. We do have attack down on the main spider here. There's that HP burn, followed by a shield and strengthen again to make sure our Crypt King is as safe as possible. Now we're going to have this AoE attack down on all of the spiderlings to provoke, reducing the damage even more. Crypt King is getting a little bit low here, but it's really not much to worry about. We have the freeze going out here. Regeneration, although it is doing a little bit here, the shield is going to be more than enough to keep this guy sustained. Right, there was the second heal there, so he's surviving even through multiple shields. A few poisons did cut through here. And still our team's looking quite solid. We're at just over a minute now. And this should be the last wave of HP burn. The taunt's active. There's no worry for Crypt King Graal in the world for him to die. There's the freeze, and this is pretty much game, set, match. Alright guys, there it is. A minute and 26 seconds. Full auto stage 25 spider. So if you're not going to use Sigmund, if one of the other rares look more appealing to you, who can you use? And of course, by rares, I do in fact mean epics. So let's head over to recently used first. I'm pretty sure Demytha is a champion you can use if you wanted to. You know what? Let's just go ahead and test it out. See if she is tanky enough to sustain this champion, because I know quite a few people weren't impressed with this fusion. I personally don't mind him. I think he's rather strong as far as survivability goes, but everyone's talking about this dwarf for some reason, so let's go ahead and give her a shot here. Let's look at her stats. 301 speed, 73,000 health, 3.3 thousand defense here. Let's look at the skills. Not really much going on here. I guess we can prioritize this one first here and this one second. Actually, you know what? Let's just see what her base UI looks. Default, hit save. And let's head straight into it to see if she's going to be better than the legendary fusion for a task like Spider Auto 25. Okay, so this is definitely the ideal order of events here. Now we have all of the spider links active and the HP burn goes off. The one problem with this dwarf that I do have is the block damage she has is only a 1-turn cooldown, which of course is pretty bad. As we all know with Warcaster, if you want to use Warcaster with unkillable teams, the speed requirements are insanely high and not that desirable. So here we go, the second rotation here. So she's not going to survive very long at all. We do have the continuous heal. Maybe it's going to be enough, and maybe regeneration set is going to be enough. Actually, it looks like we're going to fail here as soon as we get a turn. Okay, so not even close. So unfortunately, this champion isn't going to work. Maybe if I gear her with extremely OP gear, there's possible for some synergy here. However, I'm not willing to use gear like that. As we can see, I've already used pretty decent gear. 301 speed is a lot of speed. I guess we can make the case of if I made her slower, she probably wouldn't have died because she would have that cooldown. So you know what? I'm going to see what that does. Let's remove pretty much all of the speed here. Let's go, and we could make her tankier, but these stats are slowly becoming extremely unrealistic. So let's just start removing gear, make it a bit better. Only 11 speed there, nothing too crazy. Let's see if we have, okay, here's a triple speed weapon. We definitely don't want that. That's fine. HP, resistance. Not really enough resistance to make a difference, but we'll keep it anyways. So now we have 215 speed, significantly slower than before. Let's see what happens here. Ideally, the slower this champion is, the longer she's going to keep block damage on herself, and she seems to be the squishiest target here. So let's see how this works. So far, so good. This round, as we both know, it's not going to matter too much there. So now we have the freeze going out, only 2 spiderlings active. We want to cycle through this again, making sure she uses her block damage here. Hopefully. Okay, she didn't use it quite yet, so we do have to survive this. This might end up being not as ideal. Okay, she's definitely dead there. We're going to get the freeze, so it looks like this is just a little bit too shy of the speed you would want for her. And even still, I'm not sure if this team's going to be able to pull it off based on how easy it was to do with Sigmund. So I wouldn't recommend using this epic here. Any champion that provides shielding, or if you want to use them in some type of shield set, is going to be good. And while we are here, I do want to show you guys something kind of cool. Let's head on over to the setup here. I think this is going to work out how I have it planned in my head. This is a strategy that I've been thinking about for quite some time, to be honest, and I don't know if this team's going to be successful or not. That's not really what I want to test here. I just want to test a theory I have using some new accessories in this game. So this is all set up, and I have blood shield accessories on the cold hearts here, and they have the lowest health. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, let me just take this off of auto while I explain this. Enemy AI does not pick up a shield when it's considering threat in this game. It's like a shield is invisible to the enemy, so it's going to base everything off of the lowest amount of health that they see in front of them. With that being said, Crypt King Graal, as we all know from the stats I showed you guys, has incredibly high HP, and Coldheart, being a rare champion, Glasskin, and very squishy, has very low base HP. So my plan was put on 1 or 2 Blood Shield accessories on these 2 Coldhearts and just let Coldheart become the tank, which is quite crazy if you think about it. And she tanked more attacks than you'll ever see from another Coldheart. The only problem is this point right here. As she keeps using other abilities, she is going to replace that shield with the smaller one, so that's going to be the obvious downside to any strategy like this. Plus the turn meter, it's not enough with 2 Coldhearts using Heartseeker straight out the gate like this. I would probably need someone like a Renegade or Kymar on top of this. So they're resetting the cooldown, they're getting 2 more Heartseekers here. You know what, I do have those champions, so why mess around anymore? Let's just go ahead and try this out. I'm gonna head right here. Let's throw in, if I had to guess which champion I have that currently has gear on, I would say Kymar, right? Mr. Kymar, 224 speed, 241, 261. Perfect, so you are going to open with your cooldown reset here, and this should be good in theory. Let's go ahead and test out how good my theory is, or if I'm just wasting my time and your guys' time, although I do have faith here. Let's see, the same thing would of course work with Renegade. We're just trying to reduce the turn meter as much as possible. There's that cooldown reset, tanking the proper hits they do need. And we're going to get a second Heartseeker here. We almost died. That was a little bit scary, but nothing too bad. There's that freeze, so we're not in danger anymore. And it looks like we might fail. How close is it going to be? Can we do it? Yes, we can do it. 34 seconds. So I haven't tested this before. As I was recording this video, I figured why not test this out live for you guys to see how good a tank Coldheart would be. In case you're curious about the stats I have on the Coldhearts, I might as well show them to you right now. So as we can see, we have 2 pieces of Blood Shield. They're not very easy to get accessories, I do understand that, but you don't really need them to be proper stats or upgraded at all. You just want the effect of gets a shield worth 5% damage. That paired with enemy max health is going to be very, very strong. Of course, as we saw, I have no defense down on the boss. If you have defense down, the shield's going to be significantly bigger than the champion. So we are running 2 blood shield pieces on both of them. Rather fast. I did add some health on these guys, so they're a bit tankier than normal. So if you want to replicate something like this, it's definitely possible. Once again, you don't need Kymar. You can absolutely use Renegade instead. Loosely following the speeds I have. Key point here is make sure the Coldhearts are the lowest health on your team, so they will take threat from the Spiderlings and they will be able to tank with that massive shield from the Heartseeker. Alright, so even though we drifted off the main point of the video a little bit, Spider King Graal, aka Crypt King Graal, great champion. Can you use him in more places than just Spider? Of course you can. The fact that he's good in Spider means he's good in every type of wave clearing PvE situation. Doom Tower, a freeze that can't be resisted, helps a lot, even though you're going to need it for something like HP burn. However, this has direct synergy with someone like Ignatius. You can build 0 accuracy on Crypt King Graal and Ignatius, taking advantage of both of the HP burn and this champion's freeze, giving them awesome synergy together. So that's going to conclude this video today. Let me know what you guys think. How are you guys feeling about Crypt King Graal? I think this was a very good buff overall to this champion. I think this is definitely one of the few buffs outside of Tomb Lord that I just talked about in a previous video that really stood out to me and impressed me. I do have more champions to test, so I look forward to getting that done and showing you guys updated versions of those champions. Hopefully you guys liked that little showcase. I definitely enjoyed the Coldheart showcase myself. I'm glad to see that it does in fact work. Pretty cool concept, I think. Let me know if you want to try that as well. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video, and I will see you all in the next upload.